Welcome back to the video series. Here in this video I'm going to show you some of the more advanced features of SpeedGrader. In the last video we just talked about the very basics and assigning a grade to a student. Here I'm going to show you some of the really cool features that SpeedGrader has at your fingertips. Now, first of all, I want to talk about, for some reason, grading a discussion is a little different. So if you'll notice here in my Canvas course, I have some online submission options here, and then this assignment is a discussion board where students post their replies to each other. When I click on that, typically the SpeedGrader button is over here on the right. I don't know why, but in a discussion you have to go through your settings to get to SpeedGrader. So you have to hit your gear and then go into SpeedGrader. The great thing is that it shows you everything they've typed, you know, their original response, and then things that they responded to other students are all listed there. You can go in and say whatever, which is really neat. I'm going to mute this assignment so my student doesn't know that I've graded it yet. But when you're in here, you can give them their points, you can give them their comments. One other really neat feature here is the speech recognition tool. I had never noticed this until Miss Trowell showed it to me, and it's a very handy way to hit this. Then if you don't feel like typing a bunch of responses, you can just hit your record button. Then you can have the computer recognize what you're saying, hit stop, it shows up there, and then you can submit it. So that's a really fast way you could just run through and instead of typing, you know, dictate what you want the students to know about their responses. So that's how you would do speed grading with your discussion, which is kind of a few more clicks to get into the SpeedGrader. But let me show you the coolest thing about SpeedGrader is that you can actually give some really detailed feedback to students using a rubric. So if you have a kind of a more complicated assignment that's not just I'm going to give you a 5 out of 5, but you'd like to give them some more detailed feedback, if you click on the assignment, that takes you to this page, and you have an option to add a rubric. When you add a rubric, one really cool thing is if you have already used a rubric in any of your courses that you just want to reuse, you could hit find a rubric and you can search through all of the courses that you have for a rubric that you would like to kind of borrow. But you can also make one right here. It kind of gives you a dummy criteria right here. I can click right into it and say I'm going to grade this essay. One category I want to deal with is the audience, and maybe I'll also deal with I don't know, what else would you grade an essay based on? Your spelling. And so you just can add a criteria right here. I'm going to grade based on punctuation. You can tell I'm not an English teacher. And I'm going to do one more. Logic. I don't know. Maybe it's an argumentative essay. I don't know what you would grade an essay based on. But so you can give these categories. Right now, I have this thing set to be a 25-point assignment, but I'm only up to 5, 10, 15, 20. I have an option here. I could say that really I want to weight it in different ways. So this category is worth more than others, which is really neat. Right now, by default, it gives you all or nothing. I can go in and put descriptions about what it means to get 5 points. What does that mean for this criteria? What it means to get 0 points. But also, it's probably not all or nothing. If you notice when I hover over here, when my mouse kind of gets there towards the middle, I can hit plus. That gives me another category. I can go in and add a description for that, but I could have all sorts of different levels of accomplishment for each one of these. And I can go in and dictate what each one means with some description. So this can be a very descriptive rubric. And what I think is really neat is if you click this setting right here, that means the rubric will do the math for you and assign the grade for you. So you don't have to do any math in your head or type in a grade, you can just use the rubric, and the Canvas will do the math and assign the grade for you. So I'll show you what that looks like. You can also write free-form comments if you want to, but you really have all sorts of options to do comments. So I would say this is really your favorite setting right here. You want to use this for assignment grading, and that way you don't have to do the math and do for the actual final grade. I'm going to create that rubric. Now hopefully you've done that before you make the assignment live, so a student, when they click on the assignment in the very beginning, can see how they're graded, which is kind of handy. Now I'm going to show you what it looks like when you're using it. When I hit Speed Grader, that takes me into my student submissions. Again, I can see all the students. I can see what I've graded, what I haven't. Here I could say I'm going to work on student 2. I think it's a little strange that I have to say I want to view the rubric, but once I hit view the rubric, this is so cool. It's a little cramped, but I'm going to try to drag it over so I can see their work, and over here what I could type in a grade if I really want to. So I could say when I type in 3, it highlights it, but I think my favorite way to do it is to go and be like, that was okay, that was great, that was okay, this was great. Once I do that, look how beautiful it is. It does the math for you, and once I hit save, it will actually take that math, assign it as their grade. Students can then come and get detailed feedback. You also have the option to add some kind of comment here. You have the option to do your speech recognition or record a video of you telling them how great their assignment was. And of course, since this particular assignment is something where they uploaded a Google Doc, I still have all the Google Doc capabilities here to highlight, add a comment. Whoops, I missed my comment. And so there's so many quick ways to give feedback to students without killing any trees, but without stapling the rubric to everybody's paper and trying to write all over it. Just with a few quick clicks, I can move between them, see the rubric, click, grade it automatically. So I feel like the rubric aspect is a wonderful way to quickly and efficiently give students tons of feedback. So hopefully you'll enjoy using that in your Canvas course.